newest part of the NRA's National Firearms Museum is the Robert E. Peterson Gallery, which opened to the public on October 8th. The Robert E. Peterson Gallery is a culmination of a 2-year project to place Mr. Peterson's vast gun collection on public display and to interpret it for the public in a meaningful fashion to give an idea of who Robert E. Peterson was and the impact and legacy he's left for us as gun collectors, shooters, hunters, and conservationists. Mr. Peterson's name may not be familiar to you, but his magazines, Guns and Ammo, Motor Trend, Hot Rod, Peterson's Hunting, those magazines, I'm sure, more than familiar to you. When Mr. Peterson sold his company in the mid-1990s, he had 32 monthly periodicals. He was a tremendous collector, sportsman, and hunter. His personal collection numbered over 2,000 firearms at the time of his death in 2007. We now have 400 of those guns on display here in the Robert E. Peterson Gallery. They're 400 of the very best guns that he put together in a lifetime of collecting. Some of the significant highlights are the Gatling guns that he had. In fact, he had a lot of them on display in his offices on the 20th floor of the Peterson Publishing Building on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. We have them all now on display here in the museum, making it the largest collection of Gatling guns on display in the country and possibly the world. Some of the significant pieces of that collection include serial number 1040, the model of 1895 and 3040 Krag. It was one of the 4 Gatling guns that Captain Parker took to Cuba and helped support Theodore Roosevelt's Rough Riders in their charge up Kettle and then San Juan Hills on the 1st of July, 1898 during the Spanish-American War, an event and an afternoon that earned Theodore Roosevelt the Medal of Honor. There's also the only known crated Gatling gun in its original wooden crate from the Colt factory in Hartford, Connecticut. The only known naval Gatling gun, still complete with its original deck mount and all of its accoutrements. Gatling guns that were used in the movie The Outlaw Josie Wales, The War Wagon, and even Gunga Din from 1939. The Gatling guns are kind of an odd sideline of the collecting habits of Mr. Peterson. For truly the majority of his collection consisted of some of the finest double guns and double rifles that have ever been made. Names like Boss, Purdy, Fabry, Holland & Holland, Renzini, Perazzi, Sauer, Merkel. The finest guns from each one of those manufacturers. And American manufacturers were not to be left out either. In fact, previously Mr. Peterson had loaned to us, and now his estate has gifted us the most valuable and impressive set of shotguns ever made. The set of 3 Parker Invincabels, valued at over $5 million. Parker made only 3 of their top-of-the-line guns. Their grade 9 gun was called the Invincible. Mr. Peterson found and assembled all 3 of them in his private collection, and we have them here on display in the museum. The rest of the galleries, you'll also see some of the finest Winchester Model 21s, L.C. Smiths, just a tremendous variety of sporting arms that are on display here. In the Purdy cases, we have guns that were given to the Maharajas of India from various members of the British royal family. In fact, there's a beautifully displayed cased Purdy that was given to the Shah of Persia at the turn of the 19th to the 20th centuries. There's even a wonderful Wesley Richards that was commissioned for to commemorate the wedding of Lady Diana to His Royal Highness Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, back in 1981. We have Holland & Hollands that commemorate the Apollo moon landing of 1969. In fact, there's an entire set of 4 Holland and Hollands that commemorate each one of the 4 years of the American Civil War that we hope to have out on display very shortly as well. In our Italian case, we have some of the finest examples of Bellino engraving that the Italian masters have ever set to steel. In fact, it's almost art imitating art at one point. On a couple of the shotguns, one in particular is a picture of a number of Picasso renderings engraved in steel. You'll also find copies of Charlie Russell and Frederick Remington works of art on various shotgun receivers engraved here as well. Mr. Peterson collected a number of historically significant firearms. They include Hermann Goering's Model 303 Merkel, one of the most finely engraved Merkel shotguns ever put together. It was a gift to him in 1939 at his famous hunting lodge, Cairn Hall. It is French fitted in a leather case. The shotgun is complete with a set of his epaulettes, his Reichsmarschall, showing off his Field Marshal's baton. The interesting thing to note about this shotgun is it was possibly one of the finest guns in Hermann Goering's personal collection. Therefore, it ended up in the personal collection of General of the Army's Dwight David Eisenhower at the end of World War II as being the finest of all the trophy guns that were liberated from the Reichsmarschall's estate. When Eisenhower made his victorious return visit to America immediately following the end of the war in Europe in May of 1945, he took this spectacular shotgun with him and gave it to the only man who outranked him, a man who shared the same title he had in World War II back in World War I, and that's General of the Army John J. Pershing. It was in the Pershing estate until it was sold and auctioned, and Mr. Peterson later acquired it. We have a beautiful shotgun that was made for Annie Oakley, presented to her by Buffalo Bill during their European tour in 1890. There are a number of unique guns, a double-barreled bolt-action magazine-fed safari rifle in .416 Remington mag. I've seen lots of big game bolt-action rifles, but never a bolt-action that fed 2 rounds into 2 separate barrels simultaneously. There's some of the largest elephant guns ever made. There's an 8-bore on display. There are a number of 700 Nitro Express Holland and Hollands and a number of 600 Nitro Express Holland and Hollands. Most of those engraved and inlaid in gold, and some of the most spectacular engraving jobs that have ever been put on steel.